So we've been robbed of our power. We have given away our power blindly. I've learned up to this point is we're becoming full circle. We're becoming these men that we've always should have been. That has always been within us. We're coming full circle. And with this path, we naturally will find what it is that we're looking for. Those things that we're looking for naturally come to us. We just need to stay steady on our path and not get swayed once again. In this video, semen retention, day 90. So we finally made it to day 90. This day has been coming for a long time. So a little background, I started this semen retention journey back in 2017. And it kind of just came across because I was not doing what I wanted to do with my life. Even though I had set plans and goals and had a direction to where I wanted to go. But for some reason, I didn't have the drive, the energy to just get up and do it. And that happens to a lot of us. We say we're gonna do something, we say we wanna do something, but for some reason it just doesn't manifest, it doesn't come about. So I ran into Nofap, I ran into Semen Retention, and I tried it. In the next 15 days, I was already different. Just that simple. And a lot of it has to do with how our minds are programmed, how we are thinking about things, how we feel inside, the energy inside of us. And this is what we're going to get into. We're going to cover a lot of topics and go really in depth into these topics when it comes to day 90 semen retention. So to keep it a little bit more structured, we're going to talk about alpha frequencies. So the frequencies we operate as human beings and how they dictate our well-being, our emotions, our behaviors. Our brain hemispheres, left and right. The divine masculine energy, which I've come to learn and embody through semen retention, and that we all as masculine males have, but we have become imbalanced, and how semen retention helps us become more balanced in this energy, which I refer to as, in the beginning, I had this drive to do things, but it just didn't come about. This is that masculine imbalance that we all in this society we have, and how semen retention helps us tweak and balance and come about, which comes into frequencies. The aspect of attraction and how semen retention helps us attract the mate that we're looking for. Having more self-control. This comes with everything. Overall, all three of these topics that we're going over. How having self-control helps us have more control and responsibility in our lives, and when it comes to attracting. And the energy work, transmutation, and the importance of our transmutation, which helps us manifest more of what we want, different things that we want with this creative sexual energy that we hold. So let's go into first the alpha frequency state. Our natural frequency to be a state of being to live in is the alpha frequency as human beings. We live in a very beta, very stimulated, very too much thinking, too much stimulus in our minds, our emotions, our feelings, our behaviors. We're ungrounded, we're hysterical, we just do about things, and sometimes we don't realize it, and this gets us into trouble. This causes issues with relationships, it causes issues with ourselves, not doing things that we want to do. So we have the left brain and the right brain. We are left dominated. So if you look at life, look at how everything we do in life is a lot logical, very rational. We're stuck on the left brain hemisphere, and this keeps us in a stressful state because we're thinking too much. We're not being able to access our subconscious. We're too much in our minds. We're too much here. Porn does the same exact thing. Porn keeps us very stimulated. This is where we get into this beta frequency state. We're not living into our truth. We're not living to our full expression and our divine masculine energy. this masculine potent energy that we're trying to reach through semen retention. Semen retention is not about just trying to get a girl. That's just a symptom of semen retention, because that is your natural state. We're naturally supposed to be attract women easily and effortlessly. It's natural, it's nature. But we become very astray from it. This is what I'm learning through semen retention. So we're living in unnatural frequencies, our beta frequencies. We're not living our natural divine masculine structured decisive order. Okay, so what does alpha frequency look like? And I'm gonna post up here what an alpha frequency is supposed to look like. It is alertness, it is cool, calm, collected, it's compassionate, it's being okay and happy, stress-free, relaxed, being able to communicate effectively, express effectively to the world, to yourself, having this inner wisdom within ourselves so we can express it to the world. This is how we find our counter mate. So we're stuck in this beta frequency that we start thinking too much, we get overstimulated, that we can't access our internal guidance, our internal godly heart and intuition. So we end up repelling people, we end up repelling our mates, and we get stuck in a beta frequency. We've all seen these kind of people. We've been these kind of people. So semen retention is allowing us to have a balanced body, because when we cut off porn, when we cut off these distractions, when we cut off these artificial things, our minds can finally relax into a natural state. Semen retention is your natural state. When you release, you're starting to just when you release, you're starting to put your body into the stressful mode again, an imbalanced state. You're getting rid of its vital nutrients. Okay, so the alpha frequency looks like cool, calm, collected, being able to handle stress-free, decisive. You have leadership, your natural leadership. We're natural leaders. But if we're not in touch with what we're trying to head towards in our purpose, we can't lead ourselves. People are not going to trust, follow, have faith in us, and be able to be led by us. We're natural leaders. And when it comes to women attraction, it's the same concept. They're not going to follow you. They don't trust you. We need to be able to trust ourselves, not being distracted by things, shiny objects, and be pulled away. That is what causes us to repel people. They're our mates. That's why our mates may disrespect us. That's why our women may not be attracted, drawn to us, because we submitted ourselves to this stimulation, to this beta, to this porn. So when we take back our power, we now increase our masculine energy. We increase that power and light and energy, electromagnetic energy we have within us. And they feel that. They feel that tension. The more you hold, the more of this masculine energy you start to rise up. And there's a pull, polar opposites, yin and yang, night and day. There's North Pole, South Pole. There's magnets, more masculine, as in more of our essence. Inside the women, you feel the rubber band tension, and you start to attract more of the opposite and the counterpart that you're looking for, the counterbalance of what you're looking for. You see, and you get to have more self-control, so you don't just look into them and get pulled away, but that makes you more attractive, and that also lets you step back away from the emotion, away from the power, and so that you can look at and distinguish. I don't like this. I don't want that. This is what I need. You know, you come in contact, you come in tune with yourself, so you'll know what's best for you, and logically, not and emotionally, but not. You're gonna know what's best for you by what you feel you need, rather than being pulled and swayed by this superficial look. It's more of an in-depth, spiritual, intuitive guidance that's giving you to what you need as a woman, that you need, not just I want to build my load to some random person. You see, this divine masculine energy. What does a divine masculine male look like to you? So when I think of a divine masculine energy, and this is how I'm feeling internally with my experience here. Actually, I'm at around 102 days today, 103 days. This divine balance, assertiveness, but not overreaching, not overbearing. Balance and humble enough to know when is the best time to do it. Being able to be relaxed, trusting of our own gut, trusting of our own heart, trusting in the universal, trusting that things are going to work, but not being stressed out, worried, and trying to over manipulate, control everything. You see, we see these kind of males out here being carried away by emotion, being carried away by thought, this beta overstimulation, not being able to relax into our masculine balanced energy, relax into our truth and our depth, our groundedness. When this happens, we embody this divine masculine. This is what's gonna naturally, because this is nature, attract our counterbalance, our feminine, divine feminine counterpart. And this is what we see having issues. So a lot of us, why we came into this whole male semen retention journey, because we see how these women are not resembling the divine divinity that we are trying to have. So we become confused and we try to manipulate and we have issues, but it's because we've strayed away from our inner divinity, our inner selves. We just become too distracted, basically. We're taking back our power, becoming the divine, godly, glory men that we always should have been, who we are inside, so that we can learn how to be responsible, take ownership for our lives, respect for our lives. And this is when the women will see this divine masculine that will start to respect, want to be led, and follow us as these divine men. Having more self-control. You have more self-control because you've now deprogrammed yourself looking at women and being carried away. So in the earlier days, you still have this program of porn and overstimulation, that you look at a woman and you're like, fuck, you get pulled and drawn. 90 days, you've completely created a brand new habit and neural pathway in your mind that you look at it and it doesn't affect you as much. Yes, naturally you're going to be drawn and attracted to it, but you're not going to be swayed by emotion. You see what I'm saying? You have your inner alpha, you have your inner intuition, and that you're in tune with. You're being swayed by your own self. You're in control and demand of your own self. You're responsible for your own self. So you make now the conscious decision instead of being carried away and brainwashed by outside sources to be pulled away. You see? This is what's causing this tension and this attraction between polar opposites. And back to the divine masculine, I forgot to mention. The divine masculine is a balance of the masculine and feminine energies. We have masculine and feminine in our bodies. Feminine, masculine. But a lot of us have gotten too stuck on this one side, the masculine. This doesn't allow us to be vulnerable and share ourselves with the world. This doesn't allow us to fully express and feel connected to people. There's not a big difference between when you try to attract a mate. We over analyze and overthink it, but it's not that difficult. We have the feminine inside us. The women have the masculine inside them. But what we're trying to do is find the balance and equilibrium so that we can present ourselves and it could easily, naturally attract. You see? When we live our truth. We're not trying to manipulate, not trying to control, but we're trying to become and be and live through. So we're more vulnerable. I've had a conversation with my friend. I made a video on this about the breakups and stuff. And I noticed some of us have trouble opening up, especially to other men. We have trouble opening up and being vulnerable because this world has told us to not share our emotions. We as men have emotions. We're men. We're human beings. We have emotions. We just have an ability to not be so carried away and swayed by it. We have the ability to respond, being responsible and rise above the emotions that we can lead and direct. We're natural leaders. See, the feminine is more of this emotional state. They need to counterbalance. They need the masculine trait, the masculine embodiment of another male to help them to counter. That's the attraction. That's the attraction right there. It's all natural. And number 4 is energy work and transmutation, which is very, very important, which is probably one of the most important things. Very important that as we do semen retention, we have a lot of this energy being built up, and we need to direct it in a good way. If we don't direct it, this is when we have these urges. I don't have any urges anymore. That stopped around day 50, 60-ish time frame. And that's because I was doing more of this energy work and meditation. When we meditate, we use the power of our minds, thoughts, and concentration to direct this energy into a better outlet, to make videos, to make art, to communicate effectively. We're always shooting out this energy, the sexual, creative energy that we have inside us. So when we are having urges, when we're having anger, irritation, annoyance, it's because our energy in our genital area, our root chakra, is being overstimulated, see. But it becomes imbalanced if we're not meditating, if we're not stretching out, we're not exercising, breathing deep. We need to utilize our bodies. We need to be, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, art, we need this, all this energy is being built up so we can create. We need an outlet for this energy, or else we have all this agitation, this irritation. We may snap at people because of this energy being rise. We want to relax. We want to let the energy flow into a positive, higher vibrations up our chakras. And our chakras go our root, our creativity, our sexuality, our confidence, our heart, our connection with people. When these are closed off, we may feel disconnected from people. We may feel isolated or different from people, and we don't know how to relate, connect, express ourselves, express our truth to ourselves and to them, into the world, so that we may have issues. So we want to be able to cultivate that within us so that it'll come out. The world is our mirror. And then express our truth, how we feel, what we think. Have clairvoyance, what's the word? Be able to distinguish what is good or bad for you, you know? And as well as intuition, higher awareness, spirit, connection with the spiritual, all the chakras. You want to be able to transmute all this energy up to feel connected, to speak your truth so people can hear you, so people can feel connected to you, so you can feel connected. You see, when we don't, then we start to have issues. When we don't transmute this energy, we feel annoyed, angry. Hey man, I get things done. So semen retention is this fuel that's gonna ignite everything. So everything I've said to cap up in the 30 day, the 60 days, 45 days, all those videos, very, very true. And I realize those days are it's not until you reach like the 90 and above is where you start to feel a lot more connected and spiritual. I feel semen retention is very spiritual. So the 30, 45, and 60 is when this energy starts to rise, right? And you do start to feel, you feel less awkward, you feel less tension, less social anxiety. You'll feel more connected to yourself, more in tune with things. The woman attraction goes up, of course. You have more pheromones. You're full of light. You're full of vitality. And then around the 60 days you feel more power. You're getting more into your power. You start to assert yourself a lot more in your communication and your behaviors. You'll start to create more. You have more willpower, motivation. And it just keeps getting higher and higher and amplifies a lot more as you keep going. until here at day 90, or technically 100. But even every day, I'm still continuing to feel more and more subtly. Every day is better and better. So it's very important for us to eat healthy, to contribute to our sperm, our genitals, reproductive organs. We want to be feeding those good, healthy foods, an outlet for our energy to flow, creativity, ideas, you see. So I hope this video resonates with anyone who's meant to be. And if 90 days, I said this at day 60, but even at 90 days, I still feel like it's more the beginning. And it's because you keep growing, you start to see more and more as you rise. And back in 2017, I did like 30 days, and then I got a girlfriend, and then that's when I kept messing up from there. And I've been on this almost 3 years now, and I finally hit 90 days, just 3 months. So for those of us who having issues and relapsing, you just got to keep going. I had a lot of setbacks until reaching this, and I just had to keep going, you know. But you're gonna filter out. You'll know the women who just want to drain you, who just want to, the people that are not correct, and they're gonna serve your highest good. They're gonna come into your life and might play a little role. But you have to learn how to have discernment. You need to have discernment and being able to distinguish right from wrong, or best for you and not best for you. And remember, just be cool, calm, and collected in this journey. Relax. Don't feed into negativity, and just be able to focus on what you need to focus on. Looking within for the answers. Semen retention is within you. It has always been there. We lost ourselves with being distracted and doing the wrong things. But now it's time to take back our natural divinity, our natural leadership, kingship, divine men that we've always been. We've always had this in ourselves. All the answers that we need are inside. All the answers that we need, and our purpose and our guidance is right there inside us. This is the alpha frequency state. When we're in this alpha frequency, our natural state of being, everything that we're supposed to be doing is there. We're being guided all the time, but we're stuck in a beta frequency state. When we go into the theta frequency state, that's a deep meditation. Then we're getting direct answers. We're looking into internally our inner truth. So we've lost all this when we become too distracted. We don't have time for ourselves. We don't have time to meditate, to stretch, to do yoga. And you see this is rising up in our society. It's coming. So remember, we're on this journey. We're doing all this because we're taking back our power. We're getting back our natural kingship. We're learning to become the king within ourselves. Cultivate love within ourselves, to connection with the world. How to be natural, divine, godly, masculine men.
My name is Jalen, and I am a Super Saiyan.